Hello and welcome everyone to a trailer breakdown for the what's to come this season on The Challenge All-Stars Rivals that was at the end of episode 1. I'm excited for this breakdown because when I did the original trailer breakdown, I did not have an HD version, but here we got picture perfect quality, as well as we have quite a few new scenes to go over. Let's start off where we get an aerial view of the Ho Chi Minh Tower in Vietnam. This was the same tower, the same area that they used for the Leap of Faith challenge in the Challenge 40 Battle of the Eras. This looks to be a daily challenge where there's going to be a ball pit where every color is coordinated to a team. As per example from my other trailer breakdown, we know that Devon and Shane are light blue. We know that Veronica and Katie are dark blue. Adam and Steve is green, a lighter shade of green, because Nicole and Melissa are dark green. Devin and Leroy are yellow, and so on and so forth. So we can see that there is a ton of colors. I wonder if this is going to be the second daily challenge, and I have a feeling it is. It's either the second daily challenge or the third daily challenge. It's going to be a challenge that we see happen sooner rather than later, as I feel like we are going to see multiple scenes of this daily challenge throughout this particular trailer. As I talked about the Ho Chi Minh Tower for the Leap of Faith being used in this season as well as season 40, here we have a top-down view of what looks to be the another trucker challenge from season 40, but it's going to be modified in a way that is going to be somewhat its own thing here in All-Stars Rivals. This is the daily challenge from the original trailer. To me, I still think that this is players having to walk up the ladder and have to slide down this ramp, and they're trying to uncover the picture underneath all the black paint, or they're trying to get their color completely visible. And so you're gonna have to keep on swimming, going up the ladder, slide, swimming, going up the ladder, slide. I believe that these two pairs is Nani and Turbo, as it looks like they have a red stripe on their helmet, and I believe that Nani and Turbo are red on this season, and they have a giant star smack dab in the middle of their helmet. And we know that Nani and Turbo were one of 4 teams to win a star in the first daily challenge, Frenemies. Frank is laying in bed, just, I think, cooking up some plans, cooking up some ideas that he wants to do. How can he make him and Sam go further into this game? Or maybe he is seething because there is somebody who made him mad, and we can see the little star patches. I think that was a really nice touch. It looks to me that Beth and John A will be doing the Leap of Faith Ho Chi Minh Tower daily challenge on this season, which will be different than what was on season 40, as we can see that there are numbers on the side. I feel like pairs are going to have to reach out, grab flags of a certain number to finish off a math question, and then once they complete all the math questions, they can jump and get the final flag. But Beth looks to be in a really bad time. It looks like she is really scared. She is about to cry. She does not want to be up. And I believe that this scene will be connected with another scene from John A later on in this trailer, and I'll point that out later. We have Anissa in the house looking like she is also getting very emotional. Maybe her and Ashley Mitchell get into a big argument, and maybe feelings are hurt. Here we have Frank and Sam in the house getting into some drama, but before we can get to this scene and what Frank is yelling about in this scene, let's go over some voiceovers that we have up to this point. Early on in the trailer, we hear Adam saying, "We're gonna fight like animals." Ashley Mitchell saying, "I come here to win." Fessel saying, "I'm gonna self-implode. Is that your plan here?" I almost wonder if Fessel is talking to Ashley Mitchell. Like, I could see in a world where Ashley Mitchell is like, I'm frustrated. Her and Anissa get like arguing with each other. They have to be separated, where Ashley goes into her own room, and Fessel, who has played with Ashley on prior seasons, and maybe he is working closely with Anissa and Ashley, so he goes and tries to talk Ashley down and be like, "Look, what are you doing? Are you trying to self-implode?" And Ashley's like, "Look, I come here to win, and we're not doing it. We're not winning anything, and I'm getting frustrated." And Fessel's like, "So you're just gonna self-implode? Is that your whole plan?" Here we have Frank yelling to people off camera saying, just because I'm smart and playing a game doesn't mean I'm doing everything. Is everyone clear? Now, I did leave off some expletives. It feels like Frank's reputation is maybe catching up with him, that people are wondering, what is Frank up to? Maybe he's talking a little bit too much. Maybe he's starting to cook up too many alliances. Or we did hear from Shane in the early part of episode 1 where he was saying, oh goodness, Frank is here. Guess what? Petty is going to be on the rise. So maybe people who don't like Frank will start circulating that he's talking too much and that his mastermind abilities or his reputation in the past going to be something in people's minds and circulating in the house, and maybe it's going to get Frank and Sam to have a target on their back, and Frank is trying to tell everybody just it's not happening. Turbo's doing some shadow boxing in the backyard, which we saw in the earlier trailer. Everybody is lined up single file heading off to a daily challenge, it looks like. As it's the middle of the day, we have Dario and Ashley K near the front or up at the front. We have Devin and Leroy right behind them. Big T and Corey right behind them. It looks like there's still a ton of people in the game. I think I see Anissa, and that's about it. I can't see anybody else, but it still seems like there's a ton of people left in the game at that point. Here we have a challenge where I feel it's like a shuffleboard type of challenge. They have a wall of bubbles, and I believe Shane and Frank are jumping really, really high. It feels like they're on trampolines. Maybe the way that they jump is how much propulsion they give to their partners who are on these inner tubes getting pushed through this soapy wall and out to try to gain points. It looks like there's stars on the board. It looks like red and black, so maybe they're playing a sort of roulette or something to that effect. Dario is in the kitchen, most likely talking to his partner Ashley K, and he's saying, if we turn, we're effed. We're done for. And it feels like maybe Dario and Ashley K have a plan, have an alliance, but now that they're maybe find themselves in a bit of power, maybe there's a vote coming up, and maybe the house is shifting, the power is shifting to where it's like, okay, maybe we have to turn on these people. And maybe this is where Devin and Dario have that argument with each other, because we've seen that multiple times. We're going to see that later on in this trailer. Maybe there's a point where Dario and Devin, Leroy and Ashley K are maybe making an alliance real quick, maybe early on, and it comes to it where maybe people are wanting to turn on Devin and Leroy. Here we have that ball pit daily challenge again, as this will be on the opposite side. Once players have their team colored balls, they're going to have to try to get up and over the cargo net with the balls. All the balls are different sizes. You're going to have to transfer all your balls to your designated section, but you have to go over this cargo net. And you have to go, it looks back and forth over the cargo net. We see Adam, we see Steve, and we see Nani. I can't make out anybody else, but here we have another one with Veronica and Katie making their way over. We can see a ton of people. Here we have what I think is Big T up on the top here. We have Devon and Shane trying to make it over the canopy as well. Back in the back, we have Adam and Steve. We have orange balls here, so that's probably either Ashley K and Dario, or it's Nani and Turbo, because we already know that Nani and Turbo are still in the game because we just saw them on the cargo net next to Adam and Steve. So again, a ton of people are still here. They're showing a ton of this particular daily challenge, so I believe that this will be the next daily challenge or in episode 3. It's going to be one that's really close to the beginning here, and that's why they're so apt on showing so much of it, as we're probably going to see more of that daily challenge later on in the trailer. Here we have Katie saying to somebody off camera, saying, and when I come back, I'm going to mess your game up. Now, we can see that there is a tattoo on somebody's arm. I believe that could be Frank, possibly. I don't know who else would have that kind of tattoo, but it looks like, or maybe it's a bracelet of some sort. I would think that Frank and Veronica would want to work together because they're so big of masterminds. I guess we will have to wait and see. Here is the tower challenge. I think that this is going to be modified to the sense that the players are going to have to try to hold on to their partner who's going to lean over to try to grab a particular flag to then put it on their board. as we can see that there is a board there with numbers that they're going to have to try to reach for a particular flag to then put on their board to do a math equation to where then they can jump off and try to grab the final flag, as we will see later on with Adam and Steve. But it kind of reminds me of Rivals 3, where they have those skulls at different levels and they had to have their partner hold on to them. I could see that there being a modification, a mix between that Season 40 Leap of Faith and that challenge that was on Rivals 3, which makes a lot of sense. Melissa here saying, I want you to grow a brain. No doubt about it, she's talking about her partner, Nicole, who we see with these very interesting looking like copper brass weights. Here we have a party, it looks like. We can see Corey L, we can see Anissa, we can see Frank in the background. I believe that they'll be having a prom type of party, which I think is very, very fun. I love the baby blue suit and the way Anissa has done her dress. Leroy looked like he's having a great time with a hairpiece and a nice polo shirt. I'm sure he got some of that stuff from Fessy. And Fessy, look at Fessy. He didn't even dress up. He looks like he's just out hanging out. Like, what are you doing? Dress up, man. Nicole's also in the background. And here we get a little bit of some spiciness. I mentioned in my review and recap that some of the earlier confessionals from Nicole makes it seem like maybe something hanky-panky can happen, you know? And possibly there could be some stuff that could happen, and we can see Turbo in the background. We know that Big T's gonna be here, Melissa and Nicole in the foreground doing some bumping and grinding, and then you also have Amber here. But this confessional from Anissa where she says maybe it was something in the Kool-Aid, but this party is getting spicy, and we even see like Big T and Amber trying to like pop a balloon in between them, and they fall on top of each other, and Steve is just hanging out, you know, with his bow tie. And yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to how this party will go. How much of this party will we see, and how much spice will we see? We're gonna have to wait and see. We have Devin and Leroy. Now, Devin does say, here's the thing about Leroy, always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Maybe this is a confessional coming off of Leroy trying to have an alliance conversation with somebody else, maybe make a game move that Devin doesn't agree with. And so that's why he's like in the confessional being like, look, Leroy is trying to do all these different things, but let's be for real. It hasn't worked out for Leroy up to this point, and that's why I'm here. That's why he needs to listen to me, because I have won. And I'm here to help him win, which will in turn help me win. We go to the ball daily challenge again, where Devin is carrying some big balls, and Leroy's behind carrying even more. And it looks like there is a giant ball in the background. There's so many people doing this challenge. Here is Devin and Dario getting into each other's faces, where Dario says, I will break your jaw. And Devin, when Leroy gets in between them, Devin says, your breath stinks, which is so stupid, but kind of funny. Here we have Steve and Adam doing the Leap of Faith Tower Daily Challenge. Veronica is in a room and she is telling somebody, I want you to show your cards. Who the F are you loyal to? I do remember there is a scene in the original trailer where Veronica is sitting nearly in the same spot, and it is next to Frank. I don't think she's talking to Frank, but there was a point in this episode where Veronica was sitting on the opposite side of Nicole and Melissa, but I think they're rooming with Adam and Steve. So could she be talking to maybe Melissa and Nicole? But that was on the opposite end of the camera cycle. She could be in a different room at the end of the day. Maybe she could be in her own room. Maybe she could be talking to Frank, who I thought Katie was talking to when she says that when we come back, I'm going to mess your game up. Here, everyone is walking into a daily challenge. We can see all the dirt. They're coming off from a grassy kind of area. Something's telling me that this is them walking into the ball pit daily challenge. We've seen so much of that daily challenge in this trailer that I just believe that they're just going to use it over and over and over again. Also, how everybody is lined up, there's Dario and Ashley K, there's Turbo and Nani, there's Devin and Leroy, Shane and Dave Vaughn. I just feel like everybody is here. There's so many people here that they'll just keep on reusing the same daily challenge, especially if they're not going to give up anything. They're not going to give up any new information of, oh, this person is in 9 different daily challenges, whereas this person, you only really see them in 2 different daily challenges. If you use the same daily challenge, you're not giving up too many spoilers, which I do want to say thank you to the challenge for not giving us too many spoilers. It feels like when I was going through this, it wasn't like overtly like, oh, this person's in the elimination, this person is clearly out at X, Y, and Z. So I really do appreciate that when I do these trailer breakdowns. It doesn't lead to as juicy of reveals, but I still think that this is beneficial going through the trailers and everything, and a fun exercise, especially when it's not like major spoilers. This is a scene from the original trailer where it feels like there's an elimination that happens and a major upset happens. Like an underdog wins against a top dog, and we have Ashley M laughing. We have Anissa shocked beyond all belief. I think whoever is next to Anissa is also shocked. It's actually really difficult to know what's going on in this scene, but as we can see, we have Katie, Nicole, Melissa, Big T, Coriel, and Sam. And so we can assume that Veronica is still here and Frank is still here, but I almost came into this thinking that, oh, Coriel and Big T went into the elimination and they won, and here they are back on the podium with everybody else, but that's not necessarily the case because I thought Coriel was like sweating so much that he must have done the elimination, but that's not necessarily the case, as it feels like everybody was sweating because this was Vietnam and it was just really, really hot at the time. So I almost feel like this is just them standing around, like this is just how the competitors are normally when outside, when doing challenges, when just standing there for the eliminations, that even if you're not playing, you're going to be drenched in sweat. We have the next scene of Frank, Jonna, Beth, and Davon. So we know that Shane is here, but it looks like Jonna is kind of looking away. Maybe somebody in the elimination gets to choose who they want to go up against. And maybe there was some chatter that possibly Beth and Jonna would be chosen sooner rather than later. And Jonna is trying to like look away, like, don't make eye contact. Please don't pick us. I don't want to go in, Here we have TJ saying, we have one piece of unfinished business, which what does that mean? I've never really heard TJ ever utter those words, maybe once or twice, but I can't remember the last time he'd said it. And I'm trying to think, what could it be? Could there have been an argument where maybe somebody got physical and now TJ is going to talk about it and what the consequences are here at the elimination? Or did somebody quit at a daily challenge and so they're going directly into the elimination, and so that's where TJ says we have unfinished business of what's going on here and there? Or who knows, something out of the whole entire trailer, that little phrase from TJ sent shivers up my spine and left me with more questions than I could think of answers. Frank is smiling when probably having a conversation, a strategy conversation, where it feels like Frank is saying, Daddy would never throw you in, and then in the confessional saying, I can't wait to throw them in. Does he say Daddy? Also, is that Frank? Because it seemed like the voice was modulated a little bit, at least from how I recorded it or where I recorded it from. It seems like it was kind of muffled a little bit, or who said it, but I believe because Frank says, I can't wait to send them in, I feel like the phrase right before it, which I believe is Daddy would never throw you in. Are we referring to ourselves as Daddy there, Frank? I don't know. I mean, Frank is looking pretty solid as a competitor when you look at his physique and everything. So maybe he is calling himself Daddy, Or maybe he said Sammy. Sammy would never throw you in. And then Frank, talking about his partner, and then Frank in the confessional's I can't wait to throw them in. I don't know. So we have somebody who is blonde crying. Possibly this could be Beth. And maybe this is Jonna, Beth, Katie, and Veronica all rooming together, where it would make sense where when we go back to the scene of Veronica saying, I want to know where your cards lie, maybe she is sitting on Katie's bed, as we can see, Katie's bed or her bed, and she is pointing, trying to get answers with Jonna and Beth. Here we have Jonna in the workout room, and this is the scene that I was thinking that is harkening back to the Ho Chi Minh Tower Leap of Faith modified challenge, because you are on top of a tower, you're going to be leaning over the tower, you're going to be doing something over the tower, and Beth is like visibly upset to the point where possibly maybe she quits because it is too high up. And here we have Jonna motioning of like pushing. So I wonder if there was a point where Beth just wouldn't want to do it. Maybe she does it once, but then she doesn't want to do it again. And Jonna is mimicking of like, what if I just push you, you know? Like, I was so frustrated in that moment that Beth wouldn't do it, that we had to disqualify, that I just wanted to push her off, you know? And Jonna even says, at a certain point, why are you even here? Here in her confessional, she says, why are you here? Can't believe she would say that about anybody but her own partner. Also, thinking back to All-Stars 3, when Beth came in as a replacement, the first challenge that they were doing when she came in as a replacement was the height math challenge, where you had to like stand on a plank over the building, over the ledge of the building, and you had to like change up the math equation to make it correct, and then you had to send the two people down. I remember Jarrell not doing that challenge, but I also believe Beth didn't do that challenge because it was too high. I believe that Beth did not want to do that Leap of Faith challenge, up and disqualifies, and it puts Jonna and Beth in a difficult situation of going directly into the elimination. And so Jonna here is like, why are you even here? I'm ready to compete. I'm ready to win. But you come into the game and you don't even want to. So I'm almost like positive that's going to happen. Here we have what looks to be Melissa getting checked out from overheating, maybe heat exhaustion, of doing a challenge and running too much of the time. Maybe this is the ball pit challenge. It looks very similar to what happened to Michelle in that one challenge, Fire at Will. Shane and Davon are doing the ball pit challenge. This is a very interesting challenge because, so it looks like we have some detonators here, and we have these screens probably all over these stations, and you're gonna have to maybe solve something, do something. I don't know what this is, but we can see clearly that Turbo's doing this, so Nani's around. We have the dark blue station, so that's Veronica and Katie is also gonna be here. Dark green, so that is going to be Melissa and Nicole. We have the orange, which is Ashley, Kay, and Dario. We have light blue, Shane and Davon. And then we have white here, which, white. I don't know who white is. I know gray is Coriel and Big T. Maybe they didn't have gray paint, so maybe that's them. I don't know. But as we can see, oh no. No. Isn't Amber and Fessel white? We'll wait and see. But as we can see with Nicole and Melissa's station here, they have a white canvas over the board. Maybe you have to solve something. Maybe you have to bring something, say something to then get a check. And once you get a check, you can pull the plunger down and the screen will dissipate in a ball of fire, and then you have to walk through, as it looks like Turbo is like waiting for the fire to dissipate, as you can see here on Shane and Davon in the background, or Veronica, who is also in the background. They're just walking through the actual, and you can't get away from, and you can't step out of your lane. So I like these little lane challenges. We're back at the Leap of Faith challenge, where it looks like Adam and Steve are finished with their puzzles and all their flags. See how they grabbed all their flags, and now they're going to jump to grab the last flag to lock in their time. Kellyanne and Sylvia are yelling at each other, which is going to be great. We have Amber, who looks to be having a really tough time after drinking down a smoothie. There will be an eating challenge at some point in this game, and it's not looking good. Frank and Sam will be doing the ATV jump off of the cliff and trying to grab the star that is hanging up. Veronica and Katie will also be doing this challenge as well, as we saw from the original trailer. This is clearly Veronica and Katie, as they have that dark blue stripe. They do not have a star on the back of their helmets, which, oh my gosh, here, going back to Frank and Sam, they got stars. They did not get a star in the first episode. So they should not have stars on their helmets going. So this has to be after Frank and Sam have won an elimination and they got a star. Or they did something to get a star. I don't know, but seeing the star on the back of the helmet, I can't believe I just saw this. But Frank and Sam have a star on their helmet where it looks like Veronica and Katie do not have a star on their back of their helmets. And some of the voiceovers, we have Devin saying, "You turned on me," Dario saying, "I'm so sick of this," and then TJ laughing as this ATV falls into the water by itself. And boom, that is it for the What's to Come this season on The Challenge All-Stars 5 trailer breakdown. That was a lot of fun. I kind of got a little too hyped at the end of that trailer, but it was a lot of fun. I love doing this. And what'd you think about this trailer breakdown? Let me know down in the comment section below. Did anything in this trailer get you more excited? Did you see something that maybe I didn't mention? Let me know down in the comment section below. Who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting against? Is there a daily challenge that you're looking forward to the most? Let me know that down in the comment section below. Who do you think is having arguments with whom? Who do you think Veronica is saying she wants to see where their cards lie? Who do you think Katie is saying, when we come back, we're gonna mess your game up? Who do you think is getting spicy at the prom party? Let me know anything and everything down in the comment section below. The trailers for this season have gotten me really, really hyped, and I'll be honest, episode 1 was really good in my opinion, so I am looking forward to episode 2 and moving forward in this season. There's a lot of great people on this cast. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Frank will bring to the game. There's a handful of people that I feel can play the game no matter what. And it's like Jordan and Frank are two people that I feel like just the challenge can come so easy to them. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this game just moves and circulates, who makes alliances and who's coming after whom. I am so looking forward to it. But what about you? Let me know anything and everything down in the comment section below. I now want to give a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you so much for the continued support, as well as thank you to everyone who's watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really, really soon with more Challenge All-Star Rivals content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.